looking good, sugar. I'm going to see my grandbabies. I'm going to spend some time with them. But we're going to have a little talk. You know, I'm not one for gossip, but I got some stuff to talk about today. It's Black History Month, sugar. Child, let's get going. They need to get them little weeds and stuff up out of there. I ain't want to talk, but they need to take care of those weeds. They're just growing everywhere. This needs some work too, but that's all right. They'll get it together, sugar. A little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. Ooh, how's that baby doing? Ooh, look how tall you are. Child, you know you got that from your mama's genes. I ain't gonna talk about your daddy's genes, but that's okay. Come on in, baby. Let me come on in there. I hope you got something for me to eat because I'm a little hungry here. Ooh, let me see what they done made me for snack. Ooh, this is nice, sugar. Ooh, wait. This is nice. Ooh, I hope I look nice for y'all. How those babies out there doing? Ooh, let me make sure I'm looking good. Ooh, child. Ooh, the wind was all up in this hair, child. Ooh, you know, I'm Miss Sweet Short Salad, child. I'm here to spend some time with y'all. You know, my great-grandson upstairs, you know, I gotta use my sin slip on him. Somebody told me I need to get on him. I'm not one to gossip, child, but that's what they telling me. Child, I get him. But you know he done made me to eat, right? Because I knew I was hungry coming here. Child, he done made me some peanut butter and jelly crackers. I was hoping it was gonna be some steak or something, but that's all right, child. Cause you know, it's hard eating steak, especially if you don't know how to cook the steak right. Ooh, but let me tell you, I'm waiting for my tea to get done, cause I got the tea for you, child. This is Black History Month, and child, I got some gossip. Cause some of the things you think you know, or you may not know, or you may want to know, or you don't really want to know, but I'm gonna tell you anyway, because I'm gonna knock the sense into you with my la chancla is what I'm gonna do, okay? And I kind of know why he gave me peanut butter and jelly. Crackers could have been on some bread. I'm hungry, and you know, I like my bread. Oh, you're okay. Don't. I like to talk to myself sometimes because you know I'm my best company. Well, let me go check on that tea, and then I'm gonna explain to you why I think he gave me some peanut butter and jelly crackers. Child, I ain't wanting to talk, but let's find out why he gave me the crackers. Hold on. I think I know why he gave me the peanut butter and jelly crackers, but I wanted to give me a sip of my tea. Ooh, yeah! That's some good tea. Child, I love a good peanut butter and jelly cracker. Let me tell you, when my babies were a little younger, I would give them peanut butter and jelly on crackers, and sometimes they even good on Ritz crackers, child. Because let me tell you, I know what those babies like to eat. But you know, there was a nice little baby. Did you see his picture? George Washington Carver. You thought I was going to say George Washington. No. George Washington Carver. You know, he came up with the peanut butter. He didn't invent the peanut, but he came up and he derived about 300 different products from a peanut. And peanut butter is one of those products. This is Black History Month, child. You know, that's amazing. I think he came up with some oils and some flour. And he, over 300 different things. You know, I can't sit here and name all 300. We'll be here until the street lights turn on, sugar. You don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about the street lights. When the street lights come on, sugar, you better be home. Ooh, speaking of street lights. And this is in no particular order, but this just hit me. The street lights, a lot of people say that Thomas Edison, child, this is some tea. You ain't hear from me because I'm not one to gossip, okay? They say that Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, right? And during this time, there were a lot of people inventing a light bulb. But you know, and we're gonna give him his credit. There were a lot of people submitting patents for the light bulb. But Thomas Edison had a good one. But let me tell you, his light bulb didn't last too long. Child, it was expensive and it wouldn't last long at all. But let me tell you something. This Black History Month, sugar. So you know what I'm about to tell you. Lewis Latimer, he invented, you know, if you go inside of a light bulb, there's some filaments, and he invented some type of casing to make it last a little longer. I'm not a scientist, sugar, but what I do know, that baby made the light last longer. Lewis Latimer, you better find out, sugar. So he helped with the invention of that longer lasted and the materials that made the light bulb last longer instead of minutes. And with his invention, they started adding lights inside the homes and in all kinds of places. You know what? This is the other tea, sugar. He was hired by the U.S. Electric Company. And there was another guy. What's that guy's name? I don't know. Maxim, Maxim or somebody like that. He was Thomas Edison's rival. So child, you know, they didn't like each other, so they wanted to outdo each other. And that's when Latimer came into place, honey. He did that thing. And let me tell you, that's how that went down, child. But you didn't hear it from me. We're gonna give Thomas Edison his credit, but Latimer needs his credit too, sugar. He was smart. This brings me to another little girl. I did this with some of my kids at school. This is in no particular order, but just things that just hit my mind. Child, let me tell you. There's this other little girl. Her name was Ruby Bridges, child. You see her picture? She was a cute little thing. She was 6 years old, okay? 6. And let me tell you, that was one brave little girl. I did a whole little project when I was a teacher. We did a whole little play and a whole little skit about that little girl. Talking about bravery. This was during the time when, see, this is Thurgood Marshall and stuff and Brown versus the Board of Education. We're going to get to that, so hold on, okay? Hold on. But you know, you didn't hear this from me because I'm not one to gossip, child. But back to Ruby Bridges. Child, her parents let that little girl go to school. She was the first black little girl to go to an all-white school. You didn't hear that from me, but child, my nerves would be bad. Her daddy didn't want her to go to the school, but her mama said, yeah. And let me tell you, you know what? They designed a test to see if the black people could get into the school. So they designed a test that they figured that the little black people would fail. But let me tell you, I think there were 6 brave little girls who took that test. Guess who passed? The only one who passed was Ruby Bridges. And baby, she went to that school, honey. She marched up in there. 6 years old with her cute little, with her little lunch, her little skirt, her little uniform and stuff. And her hair was plaited real cute. She went up there, her mother went up there, and some U.S. Marshals had to escort her in that school. Let me tell you, people were mad, child. They didn't want her in that school. But let me tell you, the amazing thing about education, let me tell you, it takes a special teacher that stood out from the rest, she was from Ohio. I believe she was from Ohio. You could fact check me, sugar. Her name was Barbara. And Barbara was the only teacher who said that she would teach that little girl. Ruby Bridges was in her class, child. You better believe me. She did that thing. And because of her bravery, do you know she just opened the doors and the pathways for other people to want to go to school? Sometimes it just takes one brave soul to break that mold. And child, since we were on education, child, don't tell anybody I told you this, but Thurgood Marshall, he was kind of cute. He was a lawyer, okay? Hey, Thurgood. But don't tell anybody I said that. When I was in New York, sugar, and I could connect with this one, because when I was in New York, I was working for the New York City Bar Association, okay? And that was in Brooklyn. And Thurgood Marshall came there to speak. He was the speaker of the New York City Bar Association. Child, I ran down those stairs so quick to meet Thurgood Marshall. Oh! It was a wonderful, wonderful thing. But you know, cell phone and taking pictures weren't so big back then. I wish I had taken a picture with him. But child, he was looking good. Thurgood Marshall was the first black man to be appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court. And he was the lawyer back in the day, child, who presided over Brown versus Board of Education. You better do your research with that. That was to end segregation in the schools. They wanted black folk to be up in the schools with, you know, we want, can we all get along? That's, boo boo, okay? Yeah, he looked good and he spoke. It was a full house that day, but I got a chance to meet him. I sure did. He's a special man, and he was also the president of the NAACP. A lot of people don't know what the NAACP stands for. Do you know what that stands for? What does the NAACP stand for? The NAACP stands for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. And that's what he was the president of that when he presided over Brown versus Board of Education. He presided over many successful cases. But anyway, but child, speaking of education, then we have Mary McLeod Bethune. Child, that was a mouthful. But let me tell you, she was the daughter of former slaves. Look, you didn't hear this from me. But she had 16 brothers and sisters. So it was 17 of them. Child, her parents stayed busy, child. So, but let me tell you the amazing thing about her. Since we're on the topic of education, okay? Education is the key to our future, and it's very important because knowledge is something that can never ever be taken away from you. And the one thing about Mary, she wanted to go to school, and out of her 16 brothers and sisters, she was the only one who went to school. And she would go to school and she would come back and she would try to teach her brothers and sisters what she learned. But she has an extensive resume and accomplishments that she has to our American history, African American history. Child, she went on to different schools to get educated. She even became a teacher. She was a teacher for well over a decade. Child, you know I can connect with that child. You know, my grandbaby was a teacher. Miss Bazzle, you know Miss Bazzle. She's a hoot. She's one of a kind. There's only one Miss Bazzle. That's okay. But let me tell you, I gotta keep my purse close. That he keep asking me for stuff. You ain't getting nothing that's in my purse, okay? So anyway, so let me tell you, shh, quiet now. So let me tell you, she went and opened up her own school. Yep, child. That school started out with 5 students. Let me tell you, when you really want to do something, you're gonna do it. Whether you got 1 student, 2 students, and 3 students. I remember I was a little girl. I had a full class of students, but they were my dolls. But I never went as far as opening up a school, child. So let me tell you, she opened up that school, was started with 5 students, and a few years later, she had 250 students. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? And you know, so that was in the early 1900s, and around 1924, 25, or something like that. I don't remember. Child, she got with a men's school, and they merged. I think it was Cookman something, and they merged. It was called a Bethune-Cookman College. Yes, that was in the 1920 something, okay? And they merged and they combined and made a college. Sometimes when you get together with other people, you become a mega university. And their university was the first university that allowed African Americans to have higher education, child. Let me tell you, that's powerful, because knowledge is something that cannot be taken away. And she was in Bethune. She did other stuff too. She was with the NAACP as well. She did some great stuff, child. But the 17 of them, child, one of them had to turn out amazing. She did. I'm not saying the others didn't, but that's the one we know about, okay? Now, who else we gonna talk about? Child. You know, African Americans, all people, not just African Americans, but this is Black History Month, so we're gonna focus, okay? Child, you know how you like a good hair product. No matter what color you are, we need the hair products and stuff. But this one, child, Madam C.J. Walker, child. She was the first female millionaire. The first, and you know what she did? She did black hair care products, child. You know we all need to slick our edges down. Cause child, when I look over there, you look to your right, like, she needs some WD-40 up in her head. Madam C.J. Walker, come back and save her. This is just a fun fact, sugar. I really didn't know too much about this, but somebody told me. And when I moved to Texas, sugar, from New York, it was a culture shock. Now, you're not gonna see, well, you are gonna see horses and this and that running down the street, depending on which area you live in. But did you know that 1 out of every 4 cowboys, African American? That's just the opposite of what we see in the books and stuff, child. You never see no black cowboys, or it's rare. But 1 in every 4 back in the day was a black cowboy. And I saw one galloping on a horse the other day. I was like, ooh, ride him, cowboy. He was fine. Ooh, okay, look, that's all right. Look, Granny still got eyes. They might be a little blurry from time to time, but I could see. I saw a cowboy riding a horse down the street. I swear to God. So 1 in 4, sugar. And you know, the other day, I went to the, where did I go? The Houston Space Station. Yes, I sure did, sugar. I went to the Houston, NASA. And I attended and watched the museum and all that. Did you know that Dr. Mae Jemison was the first African American astronaut? I think they went on to shuttle Endeavour. Back in the late 1990s. No, early 1992. They spent several days up in there, child. She's cute too. And smart. She's smart. She's pretty. And she's kind. Smart thing. Let me tell you, you go up in space, child, you gotta be smart. And let me tell you, if you want to go up in space, and if that's what your dream is to do, you can do it if you want to. You better believe me. And you know, I know they've been giving out some awards to, I think it was the Oscar, sugar. I don't watch too much TV. But you know, there was this lady, Hattie McDaniel. She was an actress, and in 1940, I believe, she was the first African-American actress. The first one to win an Oscar. I saw something the other day. You didn't hear this from me. I read it somewhere. Because things pop up on my phone that I could hardly use. And I read something, and you can fact check me on this. I'm not too sure, but I did see it. They said that she had to accept her Oscar at the back or something like that. My grandbaby has a little statue of Hattie over there. Let me show you this. Yeah, it's a little dusty. You know how when you sit something somewhere. She got that in honor of Hattie McDaniel, child. I'm gonna tell her she need to watch that. Yeah, but she got that in honor of her. And then some guy at the NAACP wanted her to stop doing those roles of the maid or slave and stuff. And Hattie McDaniel said, you don't tell me what to do. I accept any kind of roles that I want to. Because she still felt as though her roles were powerful. And let me tell you, she didn't get her star in Hollywood until her death. But at least she was recognized for the amazing work that she did. You better believe me, honey. It's never too late. And you know about all the other ones. Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. You know about them, sugar. So now there's this one lady. What's her name? Marie Van Britton Brown. Child. I was like, was she paranoid? I'm not one to gossip, child. You didn't hear this from me. But child, she did some good stuff. But it's like, what made her do this? Was she paranoid or something? Because she was the first lady who invented like security cameras and stuff. The peephole. And she wanted to be alarmed, or she wanted to be aware when strangers approached her door, child. So she devised the first little camera and like a panic button. If she pressed the button, it would alert the authorities. You better believe me, it started with her. Who was she hiding from? That's what I want to know. Probably a stalker boyfriend. But she did that. She did that. All right, sugar, this is my last one. Then you have, what did he do? This is one that we all should know. Garrett Morgan. He had several inventions, but the two that he was, I think, most known for, one is phenomenal. He invented the gas mask. He was smart. Child, you ain't hear from me, but he only had a 6th grade education. But he was just smart. 6th grade. Can you believe that? And excelled at all these things. But he had a passion for designing things, inventing things, and he never gave up, child. So I guess you could say he was self-educated. But I think the one that I'm most impressed with, he was walking down the street and he witnessed a terrible car accident. You ain't hear this from me. He saw the accident because there were no street signs or street light signals or anything. So his mind got to going, child. So he wanted to prevent further accidents and invented the first street signal. That baby did that. So we can thank that baby for inventing that, child. Because let me tell you, even with the street signals, people don't be paying attention. What? Don't let me get started. Because sometimes you got to drive for yourself and everybody else too. Ooh. All right, sugar. I hope you enjoyed our little chit chat. Ooh, and if you want me to come back, you let me know. You leave it in the comment section below, okay, sugar? I hope you have a good day, and I love you. I miss you all. And Miss Sweet Shrimp Salad, she'll be back, sugar. I always got something to talk about. You didn't hear from me though. Hey. All right, sugar. Till next time. Later.